This is the weekend edition of I-501 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Alan Troop. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of I-501 News.
From the I-501 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is I-501 News, your number one source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is I-501 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about the ongoing U.S. Air Force training at the Grant County International Airport. Reporter Devin Higgins has that story.
The skies around the Grant County International Airport have been clearing as spring continues, but by no means is it quiet. The Flyboys of Joint Base Lewis McChord's 62nd Airlift Wing are here, and they've brought their big birds back with them. In the last 10 years, the Boeing C-17 Globemaster III has become one of the workhorses of the United States Air Force. Measuring at 174 feet long and sporting a wingspan of 170 feet, it succeeded the Lockheed C-141 Starlifter after it was retired in 2006. 4 Pratt & Whitney engines, each generating more than 40,000 pounds of thrust, give the C-17 a cruising speed of more than 500 miles an hour and lets it fly as high as 45,000 feet. Major Jamil Moussa has been flying the C-17 since 2005 and is the operations officer with the 62nd Airlift Wing. He says having a training space in their backyard is very important in preparing crews for every scenario they might face.
Moses Lake is extremely important to national security. Nearby Joint Base Lewis McChord in the Seattle-Tacoma area, where we come from, the 62nd Airlift Wing, and then our partners over at the reserve component, the 446 Airlift Wing, use this airfield virtually every day. So almost every single training mission that launches out of McChord Field will come here, spend a few hours in the pattern, and then the local area flying low levels, conducting airdrops, practicing night vision goggle approaches, basically just about everything that the C-17 can do. So it's incredibly valuable, and that it prepares our crews to go out and fly a myriad of different types of missions.
The C-17 can carry up to 169,000 pounds of cargo. Everything from paratroopers to medical and emergency supplies, vehicles, even helicopters can fit in its belly. Major Moussa said despite its bulk, the C-17 is far from awkward in the air.
It's a great aircraft to fly. So it, in the United States Air Force inventory, it's the newest airlifter that we have. It's extremely flexible. It's got all the bells and whistles and the things that we like in the cockpit and also in the business end of the aircraft, the cargo compartment. So we're extremely fortunate to be able to operate this aircraft. And all those things that I mentioned, the avionics and the technology, allows us to minimize the stick and rudder skills so that we can focus on executing a global airlift. So what's neat about the C-17 is it's extremely diverse, and it's used in operations all across the world. For instance, the war in Afghanistan, it's been critical. It's also participated in Iraq and the greater Middle East, countering ISIS. And then a unique mission particular to Joint Base Lewis McChord is the deep freeze mission, or the missions that go down to Antarctica to support the National Science Foundation. So what's neat is sitting here is all the training that we receive here at Moses Lake contributes to being able to fulfill those missions. So Grant County International Airport and the Moses Lake community really contribute to securing American interests abroad.
In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for I-501 News.
It was another successful year at the Ephrata Lions Club Fishing Derby that drew hundreds of kids to Oasis Park in Ephrata. Reporter Joe Utter has the story.
It was an early morning for a few hundred kids on Saturday for the Ephrata Lions Club annual fishing derby. Families began lining the pond at Oasis Park at about 6 a.m. Kids up to 14 years old were able to fish for free, and the pond is stocked with fish each spring prior to the derby. Hundreds of dollars in prizes were given away to kids with the biggest catch. Lions Club President Bill Sangster said the event draws hundreds of participants each year.
We get about 300 to 400 kids every year. Give about $400 worth of prizes. And, we've been doing it since about 1972. The Trout Lodge provides the fish for us. McCleary's Trout Lodge do a wonderful job. They do it every year. It's a beautiful thing. The Department of Fish and Wildlife put fish in here every year. Without that we couldn't have this, but like I said, we love doing it. We've been doing it for a lot of years.
The Lions Club also offered a fundraiser breakfast with money raised going toward the club's sight program, which provides assistance to people who have partial or complete loss of sight. The Fishing Derby is held on the third Saturday in April every year. This is Joe Utter for iFiber1 News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
And we'll be right back after this.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of these many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Just when I thought the blizzard couldn't get any better, DQ put the blizzard inside a waffle cone. This is mind-blowing. So when DQ asked me how I would tell the world, I said... Sounds better in Italian.
Pretty impressive, Liz. Any blizzard, like confetti cake, now in a fresh-baked waffle cone. This is fan food, not fast food.
Hello everyone, I'm Chaselyn Rodriguez from your One News Weather Center, brought to you by your Bud Clary Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Nice, almost seasonable weekend around our area. We will get a gradual increase in temperatures. Now, spotted showers may be possible for Saturday, but the threat is mostly towards the coastal area and along the Cascades, a wintry mix, some snow along the higher elevations. Seasonable temperatures coming through for this weekend, and then a warming trend starting Monday into Tuesday. We're expecting temperatures above the normal for this time of year for the beginning of the work week. Even the second half of the work week, we're expecting warm temperatures around our area. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at the almanac within the past 24 hours. We started off the day in the mid-30s, slightly cooler and below the normal for this time of year. Should be in the lower 40s, and maximum temperatures as well, slightly below the normal in the lower 60s. Definitely not as warm out there as that record high of 94 degrees, and that was in 1977. That sun setting at 8 p.m. And for Moses Lake, very similar conditions. We started off the morning in the upper 30s and maximum temperatures in the lower 60s below the normal, and that sun setting at 7:58 p.m. And right now outside your door, our current temperatures in the upper 50s with mostly cloudy skies, dew point around 25, and those winds pushing through from the west-southwest. It could be a little bit windy out there, up to 14 miles per hour. Showers and a wintry mix along the Cascades, snow along the higher elevations. Some spotted showers may be possible around our Columbia Basin, but we're expecting drier conditions, especially into Sunday, with mostly clear skies. Now, an increase in cloud cover by the evening into the overnight hours. Some showers may be possible coming through by Sunday night into Monday along the coastal area, but we're expecting mostly clear skies with drier conditions coming into Sunday, into the beginning of the work week. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at those maximum temperatures towards the coastal area from the lower 50s to upper 50s with partly to mostly cloudy skies. The Yakima Valley in the lower 60s with mostly clear skies, and towards the inland northwest, some spotted showers may be possible. Temperatures in the mid 50s. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our Columbia Basin. Maximum temperatures in the lower 60s, slightly below the normal for this time of year. Should be in the mid 60s. Let's go ahead and take a look at the extended forecast for the week. Not a bad weekend. Definitely sunny and temperatures above the normal for Sunday in the upper 60s. Very warm coming through the beginning of the work week, 80 by Tuesday. We'll be right back with sports.
Hi.
Hi, I see here on my glasses that it's your sales event.
Yeah, we have low APR financing and some great lease offers. Check out the bold new Camry.
Wow, that's really nice. I gotta get a closer look. Wow, there's so much stuff.
Careful.
If I could just see where I was going.
Right now, you can lease a new 2015 Camry for $199 a month with $750 lease bonus cash. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan.
Now this is cool.
That's easy to see.
Toyota, let's go places.
Moses Lake extended its win streak to 12 games with a 13-0 shellacking of Eastmont at home Tuesday.
Marnie Skinner tossed 5 innings of one-hit ball and drove in 5 runs to lead the Chiefs' attack. A 2-out single by Alyssa Balderas put Moses Lake up 2-0 in the home half of the first. The Chiefs added 6 in the second, fueled by a 3-run shot from Skinner and a 2-run blast by Balderas.
For your Lady Chiefs.
Eastmont threatened in the top of the third, but left a runner in scoring position. This 2-run dinger by Skinner in the bottom of the frame made it 10-0. Moses Lake added 3 more in the fourth to send the Wildcats home with their tails between their legs. The win moves the Chiefs to 10-0 in the Big 9 League standings and gives the team a 4-game lead over West Valley with 8 left to play. The Chiefs are at Eastmont Friday to complete the 3-game series.
The Quincy Jacks had Grandview's number in a single home game with the Greyhounds. Here's Sean Wells with the story.
Quincy hosted Grandview in a CWAC conference match, and this one was all Jacks. Quincy Bats couldn't be stopped in this game as the Jacks scored 18 runs in the first inning. Quincy scored 6 more runs in the third and 8 more in the fourth to take the game 32-1. Quincy starting pitcher Douglas Tobin pitched a gem for the Jacks, going 4 innings, striking out 7 batters. Tobin was also 4 for 4 from the plate with a double and 2 runs scored. Cody Kell went 2 for 3 for the Jacks with 2 runs scored and 3 RBIs. Hunter Rosenberger also knocked in 3 ribbies for the Jacks, while Caden Murphy knocked in 2. The win puts Quincy at 8-5 in conference play and in a tie for 4th with Othello and Prosser. For iFiber One News, Sean Wells.
Big Bend split a doubleheader with Columbia Basin College to remain in the postseason hunt.
Vikings were looking for a sweep to make up ground in the East Region Conference, but only managed a split. The Hawks ran away with the opener 12-3. Big Bend bounced back with a 10-6 win in the nightcap. Columbia Basin held a 6-2 lead going into the home half of the 6th. The Vikings got 2 back to close the gap to 6-4. Ryan Grenick's 2-run shot kick-started a 6-run explosion in the bottom of the 8th. Rain Letkeman got the start and gave up 4 runs over 6 innings of work. Caleb Whitlock recorded the save. The split moves Big Bend into a 3-way tie for 3rd with Wenatchee and Yakima with 10 games to go.
The Chiefs' Zach Johnston will be breaking water at the collegiate level next year.
Zach Johnston's taken his talents to Fresno. The 4-year varsity letterman on the Moses Lake swim team has accepted a scholarship to swim at Fresno Pacific University. Zach had interest from other schools, but when he visited Fresno Pacific, he connected with the coaching staff right away.
One of their coaches is actually top 8 in the nation in his swimming events, so he's going for the Olympic trials as well. And their distance coach, which is what I do, he teaches very well, I think, and they have a swimmer on there that's actually pretty close to Olympic trials times, and I think that he'll push me towards my goals.
Zach competes in the mile freestyle and the 200-yard backstroke. His goal is to make the Olympic trials in the mile freestyle, but he knows it's going to take hard work to reach that mark.
For Olympic trials, you got to go about a 14 minutes and 50 seconds, and I go somewhere in the 15-minute range, so I just got to drop a little bit more time to make it to the trials.
Zach's had great support throughout his swimming career, but his biggest fan is someone he's especially close to.
My dad, when he swam, he made the Olympic trials, and he's been my coach the whole time I swam.
For Fiber One News, Sean Wells.
Have a great weekend, all. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Kono. I am your local Ephrata Farmers Insurance Agent. Here at Cheryl Kono Insurance Agency, our customers always come first. We don't just work here, we live here. Please stop by the office, call, email, or Facebook me for a free auto, home, life, business, or farm and ranch quote today. We are insurance. We are farmers. Come in for a free quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. And the patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Our next story is about a Quincy woman who is awaiting news to find out if she qualifies for a kidney and pancreas transplant that could save her life. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
Cassie Bushman needs a kidney and pancreas transplant to live a normal life free from weekly dialysis sessions in Moses Lake. Without dialysis, she could die. A pancreas that no longer functions properly led to her kidney failure. The 33-year-old Quincy native, wife, and mother of a 9-year-old daughter will know Thursday if she qualifies for a transplant at Virginia Mason Hospital in Seattle. Cassie has been a diabetic since she was 4 and has had to take daily insulin injections.
It got the best of my kidneys and basically your blood sugar's being out of control. It's pretty serious.
Cassie's life-threatening predicament has taken its toll on her husband Jason and others in the family.
It's hard, it really is hard. It's very difficult to see her struggle having to go to dialysis on a regular basis. Because really, if she doesn't get the transplants, she won't be with us for very long. And I try to keep my spirits up, stay strong, but it is a very large burden on my soul to love my wife so much, but know that the only way for her life to be prolonged is to get a kidney and pancreas to cure her problems for the time being.
Cassie and Jason grew up within a mile of each other near Adams Road, not far from Interstate 90. They live in a home that Jason's grandparents built. He works at a nearby dairy farm. Cassie talked about her severe health issues.
I've known since about 2011 that my kidneys were slowly failing, but it was just a matter of when at that point. So I lasted from 2011 until the beginning of January in stage 4 kidney failure.
That was when she began 4-hour-long dialysis sessions 3 times a week. Cassie is on a strict renal, diabetic, and gluten-free diet while she waits for a donor. The family has posted a plea for donations up to $5,000 on the web at GoFundMe.com.
When there is a donor and I do get the organs and they call me, we will have to stay in the hospital over in Seattle for a while. And even when I get out of the hospital, we'll have to stay in a hotel across the street from a hospital for about a month, just so they can watch me and make sure I'm doing okay and the organs aren't failing, and that's what the $5,000 was for.
Cassie said her daughter Chloe has been strong about her mother's situation.
She's actually being a trooper about it. She really is. She's got questions here and there, but for the most part, she knows what's going on. We keep her informed on everything, and this is her life for right now.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
We'll be right back.
What's white and yellow and red all over? If you said the local book telephone directory, the one with the purple sunset on the cover, then you're right. In print and online at statewideyp.com, it features up-to-date local maps, community information, and a calendar of events. With a restaurant dining guide with full local menus and a reverse directory, you're sure to find the number you're looking for. It's the best way to get the information you need. Pick up a copy of the local book today or visit statewideyp.com. Have you been to iFiber1.com? The most up-to-date news in the Columbia Basin is just one click away. With news, sports, and weather, you can stay in the know with what's going on in your community. Read your news on the go by visiting iFiber1.com on your tablet or even your phone. Follow us on Facebook for quick updates and discuss the news with others in our area. Your number one news source in the Columbia Basin is iFiber1.com. Check it out today.
Welcome back. The next story is about Moses Lake resident Ellie Webb, who's getting an early start to gardening season at the Moses Lake Community Garden. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
Ellie Webb is busy these spring days sprouting and nurturing heirloom tomato plants and a variety of other vegetables in the greenhouse at the Moses Lake Community Garden. Outside in her garden plot, she's already well ahead of the gardening curve with unusual varieties maturing, even purple spinach. She's known as perhaps the most knowledgeable gardener when it comes to growing organic and heirloom vegetables at the community garden. Heirloom seeds have been handed down from generations and are non-hybrid and naturally pollinated without human intervention. Ellie describes heirlooms as plant history dating back to our U.S. forefathers such as Thomas Jefferson. Ellie says her passion for gardening has grown with her garden plots.
I wanted to have bigger crops, and started, growing for my family, and it got bigger, and my interest got bigger in terms of growing heirloom varieties, and I needed more space for all of that. So I took the two, and I've been gardening. I've been on both sides. There's a new side over there, and this is the oldest site right here. We even had a site which is now a parking lot over there where I had one.
Ellie started with a single plot 8 years ago after the community garden program was founded. Since then, she's gardened several different plots. The Moses Lake Community Garden has grown to 66 plots, many of them still available to gardeners. Ellie said there's more to the community garden than growing plants.
For me, I became ill about 15 years ago, and a lot of my inclination was to become a lot more sedentary. And to fight that off, I started gardening. Because you can't just leave it for 5 days while you're down. You just have to show up or they die. And then all that work beforehand goes down the tube. So that was part of it. And I had done it before and I loved it. And when I started gardening, I made friends and we started looking out for each other. So if I did have a really down day, they got me through it.
Ellie says she also grows flowers that attract beneficial insects that kill plant-eating bugs. Ellie says the community garden is ideal for apartment dwellers or those renting homes without gardens. She holds high praise for the city's community garden program.
It's just been a wonderful experience. I have two really good friends now that I met here, and we take care of each other's plots when things happen, and we trade seeds, and last year we shared crops, so everybody wasn't growing the same thing in their plots.
Call Susan Shriso, who oversees the program for the City Parks and Recreation Department. She can be contacted at 509-764-3810 to sign up. Fees range from $5 for the smallest plots to $25 for the largest. Garden tools, water, and access to the greenhouse come with the fees. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
And rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about plans to paint the Vantage Bridge that spans across the Columbia River. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
The Vantage Bridge will receive a fresh coat of paint beginning this summer, and work is expected to slow down traffic at times. Wenatchee Bay State Department of Transportation project engineer Josh Patrick said traffic will be reduced to one lane at times so the rusting bridge can be painted. The state awarded a painting contract to a Jordan, Minnesota company with a low bid of $6.7 million. Vantage Bridge on I-90 connects Grant and Kittitas counties over the Columbia River. Patrick said the project is scheduled for 190 working days, or about 10 months over 2 construction seasons. Completion is expected in fall 2016. The majority of the painting is beneath the bridge, with about a third of it above, according to Patrick. The DOT's website states that the 52-year-old half-mile-long bridge carries an average of 14,000 vehicles per day, 26% of which are commercial trucks. Most of the Vantage Bridge was last painted in 1984. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
That wraps up our weekend edition. iFiber One News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.